Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Annuities are popular investments. Almost every new client I see has one. Part of any investment advisor's due diligence is to understand the history and the intentions of investments in the portfolio. When I ask why someone purchased an annuity, though, the most common responses I get are, well, we didn't have to pay any fees or commissions, or all of our money went to work for us, or it's a fixed rate, there are no ongoing expenses, or the principal is guaranteed. Now, anytime you read or hear no fees, no commissions, no expenses, free or guaranteed, used in conjunction with an investment, it's a red flag that needs to be paid attention to. Annuities, like all investments, have costs associated with them. You need to ask some probing questions about those costs before proceeding. Two popular types of annuities sold today are equity-indexed annuities and fixed annuities. Equity-indexed annuities tie your returns to the future performance of the U.S. stock market. They guarantee you won't have any losses when markets go down, and when they go up, that you'll participate in a portion of the increase. Fixed annuities simply give you a stated rate of return that often can change annually, similar to a bank certificate of deposit. Now here's how the costs work for a fixed annuity. Suppose investor A is sold a fixed annuity with a guaranteed return of 3.5%. Investor B invests her money in a plain vanilla portfolio of mutual funds holding 60% stocks and 40% bonds, which arguably would have a long-term return of around 6%. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but that's a kind of a middle-of-the-road reasonable assumption. The insurance company selling the fixed annuity must earn enough of a return on investor A's money to cover their expenses, their commissions, and to return something to investor A. How are they going to do that? Well, there's no magic formula on how that's done. The insurance company is going to invest the money in the same asset classes that are available to anyone. I mean, for the sake of this example, it's reasonable to assume the insurance company is going to hold the same 60-40 portfolio as investor B, with the same long-term projected return of around 6%. The annuity incurs internal costs then for managing the money, ensuring the return of principal, the administration costs, and the commissions paid to the salespeople. Now, while these costs can vary greatly from company to company, a cost of 2.5% wouldn't be unreasonable. In a lot of cases, it'd probably be pretty good. So if the company earns 6% in their 60-40 portfolio and deducts 1% to recoup the upfront commissions paid to the salesperson, 1% for management costs, and 0.5% for administrative fees, which is the 2.5% we just talked about, they'll pay out the remainder as a fixed return of 3.5%. So that's 6% minus 2.5% leaves us 3.5%. Investor A only sees they're earning 3.5% fixed return. They can think, wow, this is better than a CD, and the return is. The difference is it's not invested in a CD. The company is investing it in the 60-40 portfolio, taking off their costs and paying out the difference. If investor A wants out of that policy for any reason before the cost of the upfront commission is fully recovered, because 1% of that is being taken to replenish what the company paid out in commissions. And that usually takes 4 to 15 years to recoup that. Then the investor is going to incur something called a surrender penalty. And that's equal approximately to the remaining amount of commission paid to the broker selling the policy. Now, investor B has the 60-40 portfolio has the same 6% gross return as the insurance company. If investor B purchases index funds from a company like, say, Vanguard, her cost could be as low as 0.1%, leaving her a net return of 5.9%. That's 2.4% higher. Now suppose investors A and B each accumulate $1 million in retirement funds. The difference between investor A's guaranteed return of 3.5% and investor B's average and unguaranteed return of 5.9% is potentially an extra $2,000 a month in retirement income. Point is, guarantees come at a cost. Doesn't make them wrong, they come with a cost though. Now, given these numbers, you might wonder why anyone would purchase an equity indexed or fixed annuity. One reason is that many buyers don't have the confidence that they can invest the money wisely or the stomach to watch the portfolio's inevitable peaks and valleys. And another reason is that most buyers don't fully understand the costs. Unlike stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, most annuities are sold, not bought. I've never had a new client who independently purchased a no-load annuity. The annuities I typically see were sold by someone who received a commission. Now, commissions aren't inherently bad, but in most cases they do inherently create a conflict. There's always fees associated with any investment. And in my experience, the less transparent they are, the higher they are. Thanks for listening.